Okay, I believe we're live. So, we're back to Enshrouded, and I am back to base building. So, yep, I'm continuing on my base. This is my character Bob. Let's get into it. This is my main world, Redwall and Art College. Sorry, I am a bit ill. I do have a bit of a cough, so I apologise for that. Yeah, I haven't done this for a while actually, but given that I'm not feeling well today, it felt like the right day to do a bit of Enshrouded, just to sit and do something nice and easy. That sounded very loud to me. Does that sound loud to you guys? I might just turn down the volume just a little bit. Hold on. Let's try that. Anyway, if you guys haven't seen my base before, the main idea is it's a College of Art, or Art College, I guess it's called on my map, College of Arts. So it's basically I have a building dedicated to each of the character types. So fighters over there, archers, rangers over there, and magic over here. And each building is dedicated to that art form. Those of you new, I'll give you a very quick talk. Okay. Oh, and this final area over here is my messy building area. I will sort this out a bit later. I'm going to build like a nice, normal-ish looking building there. It won't be part of the library officially, which is where everyone lives. This is the fighters area. Okay, so I'm collecting every single weapon type. This is the guide. See it besides it. There's little beds and spare storage. Anyway, so yeah, I'm collecting every type of weapon. Okay, so there's the swords down here, or sword-like things. So maces and clubs, and then we get two-handed weapons down here. So I've tried to collect everything. In the middle we've got a nice chessboard. I'm a fan of chess, and also there's a strategy of chess. I haven't finished kitting out these guys yet. Some of them are finished, but some of them are not. Sort of red versus reddy-green. I might customise all the uniforms and try and make it white versus black. But anyway, there's two sort of different teams facing off, and then I should go up. I'm going to get all the different armor suits and lay them all out. So as you can see, I've kind of laid out what I want. I've got loads of bookcases everywhere with thousands of books, but I haven't got to that yet. Anyway, that's the fighters area. Sorry. This is the rangers area, the hunters. Okay, so area 1 we have all the trophies, all the defeated enemies. That's a nice big dragon one there. I might mount these on the wall rather than the floor, the big ones. It's just the big ones are so much larger, they don't fit on these pillars. But I might just actually wall in the area between some of these to actually put them up. Anyway, there's this area here of trophies. You go down, every bow in the game, split between whether they're fast draw or long to draw. I then have my training area, sorry, which isn't complete. Okay? But the idea of this area, if I take off my ring of light, okay, is that you can kind of get used to hunting in the dark around here. Okay, and I'm going to put some secrets in here. Some of you have seen before, some of that. Down here, at the end of the building, there's a very special area. I might change aesthetically how this looks because I'm not quite happy with this. But the idea is every arrow type. So I have a box, a small box, stacked full of every type of arrow. This took a while to do, and it's one of the reasons why my main buildings haven't progressed as much, because I was too busy doing this. Some of these arrows took a long time to collect. Now I haven't finished all of them. These are all the poisoned iron. I haven't got all the obsidian yet. That's on my to-do list. I've got all the iron and the poisoned iron. That took a while. Okay, so let me just put my ring back on. Flare arrows, that took a while. Eternal frost arrows. Explosive arrows number 1. That took a little bit of doing. bone arrows. These ones I haven't finished. These are a little bit of a pain to do, and the most painful is this one, stun arrows. It takes a lot of farming to get a decent pack of stun arrows. This is going to kill me doing this. I have finally finished my explosive arrows too. This took ages. Okay, I set up an entire industrial area, producing the nitrate and then the black powder to do this. It is very slow and time consuming making these. And then the giant bone arrows. I haven't finished this yet. It's not too bad. You got to do hollow halls over and over again. It's not that bad, but I got a bit bored doing hollow halls. So yeah, that's basically the area. There's only one couple of things more to show you. Here, I'm going to again lay out the suits of armour. I've only just started this, and then I quite like this. The idea is of a huge glider, like a 3-person glider. I'm going to build some rails so it looks like it's going to fly out a massive window here. Again, this is just a storage area. But I quite like the glider. It looks a bit better for the glider. Let me show you. Again, to be worked on. You know, the cosmetics aren't really there. You can see it's rugs, but it's the shape's about right. I need to tidy it up a little bit. It's a nice one. And then the last one is the magic. Now, some of this I haven't laid out very well. This is going to be like an explosive. So here's the gathering area. This is all to do with healing magic, and this one's all to do with light magic. And over here I think we've got acid. These areas haven't been fleshed out at all, and lightness is what I love. But the low areas I've done. So first of all we've got the hollow area, so necromancy. Okay, I like the two next to each other. Okay, but everything necromantic goes in here, so I have all the wands associated with that. Scepters. Over here we have the shroud area. I'm particularly proud of this. The effect works quite well. It's not like you're in the shroud, but there is like a misty, steamy thing, which works well. These arms going around. In here is everything associated with shroud. That on the wall, stuff connected to the shroud. Okay. Down here we have the ice area. I'm not quite happy with this yet, but the idea is again to put everything on that's associated with ice. So all the relevant ice scepters, wands, and stuff like that. Doesn't look bad. And then over here, the flame area. And this is actually what's causing the shroud effect. Above, it's actually the smoke from this. I'm not quite happy. I mean, I love the fact the burning effect works well. I can't see where the fires come from. But I might flesh this out a bit more. It doesn't. It's not bad, but I want more fire stuff. Anyway, that's basically my base. But I'm not here to work on the buildings. I'm here to work on the statues. So the idea is on top of every building, I'm going to have a statue. So a huge fighter there, a huge archer over there, and a huge wizard. At this stage, I'd be happy if I can just get the warrior done. This is taking a while. It is a complete mess with all the scaffolding, but the reason I've used scaffolding, in the past I used like stone platforms. What's nice about the scaffolding is as you run away, after a certain distance the scaffolding disappears, so you can see it as it's supposed to look like. A slight problem, when you're too far away, the rock shapes aren't right, so it looks like it's got very narrow legs here. As you move in, you see that's not the case, but this gives you an idea of the shape and the layout of your work. Particularly, see, I'm modelling myself. I'm modelling Bob here, okay, and I'm working on this chainmail here. And I've got the middle bit right and the left bit. I've done the right bit a few times. I'm trying to get the shape right. It looks a bit off at the moment, but actually, I think this is about right. Maybe that should be slightly lower. Like there, maybe just one lower. not sure I want to change it though. I mean, you do see more of the right one, or the left one. The left one you don't see much, so that's good. And the right one does go down and then goes across. It looks weird at the moment, but you got to imagine this is going to go up like that, the grave, and then it will look similar to this one, which actually looks good. So today, do I want to lower this a little bit? Not sure. Might lower it. If I lower it, it's a pain. I think I might go with it as it is. It's not perfectly symmetrical, but whereas the actual one does look perfectly symmetrical. Alright, I'll lower it 1. Do I want to? I've already started doing the metal. When you get into this, changing it is very painful. Or at least it can be. I'll see what I can do. As we move forward, you see the scaffolding come in. This makes. Just give me 1 second. Just checking something. Hold on. I'll see what I can do. Okay. Alright. Okay, back. Right. Let's get to work, shall we? I got my... good. Oops. Okay. Now, as always working on these big projects, there's a slight danger you're going to die. Because very easily you can slip and fall, and if you don't deploy your glider quick enough, you go splat. Okay, it's a real risk working on this. Okay, I haven't died... No, actually, no. I haven't died recently. I've died a couple of times in the past, okay? But the last few weeks I've died. So we wanted to take this down 1 level. Okay, so let's do that. Right. So if that's there. Right, guys. If that's there. Okay, I think this is going to work. Right, I'm going to go down. It's very difficult to see what I'm doing. Okay. I can hear a beeping. Can you guys hear a beeping? Oh. No. Can you guys hear me at all? Hold on. Testing, testing. Can you hear me? Sorry about that. I accidentally leant on the volume control. I was like, what's that strange beeping? Hopefully you guys can all hear again. Let me just check in OBS, which is what I'm using. And that looks about right. Good. We can hear pinging. Alright, back to the game. Sorry about that. I didn't know you could do that. Oh, I should check audio, shouldn't I? You hear my mic? Testing. Yep, yeah, you hear my mic. Okay, sorry about that. Right, okay. So, I just dropped down because I'm going to adjust all this. I'm sure I dropped my death. That would be bad and embarrassing, especially since I just told you about that. But it has been. Not stairs. Look around. The scaffolding is great, but it does get in the way a little bit. You know, when I play these games, I find myself tilting my neck in real life. I don't know why I do that. It's just kind of... It's difficult, you know, when you're playing a game, you're twisting around corners. It's difficult not to mimic the game with your actual head. Maybe that's because I'm not a very good gamer. I don't know. But I find I do that a lot. Particularly when I'm doing this sort of thing, I am trying to get angles correct. I'm twisting myself around. Yeah. Maybe that's just me. Let me know if I'm not alone and there's others who do that. Right, let's see what that looks like at a distance, okay? Go to our viewing distance and have a look. That's about it. That looks about right now. They look even. Yeah. But the problem is it goes down at a nice 45-degree angle and then it goes horizontal. Now with the pattern, there's not much you can do about that. But that just looks wrong. So I've got to just kind of continue at a 45-degree angle. Or maybe I force an asymmetry and break the pattern. Otherwise I'm just going to get too low. I'm going to end up like down here. Let's look at the actual one. It's about like that. It's pretty straight there. I'm going to try and... I'm going to sacrifice the pattern a little bit to get the angle right, because that looks wrong. Because with all these things there's a lot of trial and error. Right, let's try again. Yeah, doing this statue is very you just got to keep trying it and going away and looking at it. Does that look right? No, it doesn't. Go back and do it again. That's just the way it goes, I'm afraid. Right, so this is the bit straight. So I am... What am I going to do? Something like that. Something like that. So you see the angle. Ignore the sound of the wind. They put that in. And when you're at high places, you get random like gushes of wind going past just to freak you out. And now the angle to me looks a little bit more, a little bit better. Let's see it again. Let's go have a look. Oh, I didn't tell you where I am. For those of you who've never seen my stream before, yeah, I'm located right over the inner sanctum, where the strange structure is. Now, I'm sure this is an end game area, okay? But when I was deciding where to build this base, I really liked this as a setting. So you're sitting right over this drop into the chasm, like this old volcano, and there's that strange, like, pillar, not pillar, no, I'll just show you. Okay. For those of you who don't know this part of the game, this is like the mid-game, you come down this area, okay, and there's excavation sites and people who built stuff, but you're sitting right in the middle of this volcanic area. Very weird, as it says, strange structure. Okay, and some of the lore around it, basically the excavators who came here and the historians, they had no idea what this was. Some people speculated it's a doorway, don't know. But given that it's called strange structure, I'm sure it's a plot element or something. So I just built my base above it. It's a nice area, and when we get to using this plot element, I can just teleport to my base and then get straight on with it. But yeah, I did it mainly for the view, to be honest. I needed somewhere. I was looking for a nice hilltop area. I didn't want to be surrounded by mountains. I wanted to sort of stand out. A big flat area would have worked as well, but I wanted it green, not sandy. And this area just works. It's a good kind of area. Anyway. I was going to look at the slope of the armour, wasn't I? What do we reckon? Is that better? I think it's definitely better. Is it good enough? Again, it looks weird because I haven't done the rest of the thing. You've got to kind of imagine it in your head with the grey pattern going up there. It still doesn't look right, does it? But if I continue the 45-degree angle, I'm going to effectively be lower than I want to, and these are at the same height. Again, if you look at this is about the same height. I don't think it matters that the pattern's broken. I don't think that actually bothers the eye that much. But the change of angle does bother the eye. It just looks wrong. It's really annoying. Maybe if I just had one and then continue down. I think I can get away with one like that, maybe not two. Alright. Very repetitive. If we ever release this as a video, I will do that thing people do where they fast forward the boring bits. There's going to be a lot of fast forwarding. Oh, I've gone too high actually. Because this just takes a long time. Okay, let's go down another level. Okay, so I think one's okay, but then I think here I've got to just continue down. Let's try that. So I've got two slight drops in the angle. Let's see if it works. The distance, that looks better. Yeah. So 45 degrees, bit straight, 45 degrees, bit straight, 45 degrees. I think that's easier on the eye. I think that kind of works. And the delta's minor. Okay, let's go with that. If I can get this done, the next thing to do is the belt, which I've started over here. It doesn't show up as well. So from a distance, the solid building blocks remain. So you can see the boots and the chainmail. But the rock, which I'm using for his legs, it gets distorted, as does the ice, which is what I'm using up here. You can't see the ice from a distance. So look, if I get closer, you'll see the ice. We might do. There you go. There now. That's for the belt here. Okay. The colour's not perfect match, but it's not that far. You see my cloak with the ice. I'll try and line my cloak up with the ice. It's the same sort of colour. Okay. And I think the ice will work well as a sheet doing his robe here. It'll be a nice big sheet of ice coming down. I hope it'll work. We'll find out when I get there. Anyway, let's do the rest of his chainmail on the right side. Okay. I need some like music, don't I? I used to watch Green on Minecraft. You know, when he did those Hermitcraft stuff. You know, I only got to the boring stuff he had the music on. But that was probably only in the editing version. I imagine when he was streaming, he didn't. but I don't know. Okay. I could put actually some music on which I wrote. That is possible. Because of course I own that. Well, I didn't write it, but I own the copyright for it. But I cover some music. I'm not sure if I can get away with that. I'll have a think about that. Maybe for next time. we'll use some music from my Works gaming channel, Works music channel. Okay. But now I'm afraid you're going to have to just put up with me humming. Which, given that I'm ill, is probably not that great to listen to. So let's amend the little holes that I've created. Okay. So I must always try and preserve the pattern. It's very important to me. Now that's going to be there. That's going to be there. That's going to be there. And that's going to be there. And I'm talking to myself. It's fine. Something like that. Coughing coming, sorry. If I warn you, maybe it's better. You can cover your ears when I'm about to call. Right. Okay, so this one is. Okay. All right. That looks okay. Okay. Now I can do the back bit a little later. I'm not too worried about that. The reason is you can't see much of the back anyway. The cloak gets in the way. Doesn't mean I don't have to do it at all. I've done his left. Oh, wait a minute. This is his left one, isn't it? Sorry, as you look at him, this is the left. But anyway, I've done this one already, totally. But if I get the back of this a little bit messy, it's not so important. So I'm going to concentrate on the front a bit. Okay. Right. So let's do this. Okay. Important thing is to try and get it such that it kind of slopes inward. It needs to follow the slope of kind of like going up. So very slowly it's going to work its way up and across a little bit. Okay, so to show you what the other one looks like. Hey, it didn't die. So look, here's what the completed one looks like. Okay. I don't even know what to call these bits of the suit. I think greaves is the wrong term, or maybe it's the right term, I'm not sure. Okay, but you can see the shape, okay, so it kind of curves both inwards and up. So if we look underneath the boot, you can see that. It goes in as it goes up. Okay, it's important, okay, because again, that's what it does in reality. It goes up, but it curves inwards. So that's what we're trying to do. Right, let's get back up to the one. I think it was this level. This is a nightmare to navigate, so I'm going to first person view because it's a lot more easy. For those of you who don't know, as long as you've got the hammer activated, you can go into first person view by pressing F. If you move to a different weapon, it goes back to third person. Okay, but yeah, if you just tap F, it goes in and out of first person. It makes certain situations it makes building easier. Sometimes it's easier to see where you are because you don't want to fall off the damn scaffolding. But sometimes it's easier to be in first person. All right, let's get back to it. Right. Like the got an undo feature. Thank God they do. Right. Okay. How am I going to do this? Do like this. My scaffolding don't actually work perfectly because they're all so interconnected. Sometimes you can't actually use the ladders. Maybe I could have done it prettier and more precisely, but instead I just shoved scaffolding up everywhere. Right. let's get back down. Be easy to go over here. No, not there. Right? No, that's wrong. It should be one of these ones. So yeah, I'm using metal blocks for the shaping and the iron blocks for the standard steel. So when you go first person and then you go to your inventory, you can't see yourself. That's a that's a bug. Sorry, not your inventory. Your customized appearance thing. Okay. So if you go to third person again, you can see yourself. I'm absolutely sure this because when you actually go into first person, it makes your character model invisible. Okay, you just can't see it. And that's when you go to here, you're still invisible because they're connected in the systems. Anyway, what I was going to show you. What was I going to show you? Oh yeah. So I use the metal blocks for the shaping. Okay, so the dark bits in between the scales of armor. Okay. Yeah, sorry, this is scale armor, not chain armor. My mistake. Okay. But yeah, I use the dark bits for the scale, for the lines between the scales, and then the iron blocks for the main scales themselves. Right, let's get back to it. Yeah, and I use a very specific pattern because I tried a few things out when I was doing the model earlier. A few different shapes to try and mimic the scales, and this is what I found to work best. This kind of repeating pattern where it goes up 3, then across, up and across 3 as well, and then it goes up one diagonal, up another one diagonal, and then it goes up 3 again, and the pattern resumes. It gives you like these tier-shaped scales. Again, you're trying to mimic this a little bit. They kind of go up in the middle, and they go down and around. We'll zoom in. Yeah, get a little bit closer. So it's not perfect, but it kind of works. And from a distance, it looks very good. Okay. I don't actually want to go there. I want to move it in there. Right. Still with that. Right, okay. Like I said, I'll do the right side later. Now this will do this. I need to move up a level. Jumping is a bit easy to do in third person. Okay. Right, so here they've come together. So I'll go up 2, but I actually want to go in now. I'll put that there. And I'll get rid of it in a second. There, go there. This way. So I'm gonna cough. Sorry. Right. Okay. That is far too long at one level, so let's do that. Do this too long to that. Sometimes you've got to be very gentle with the angles you create. Alright. Something like that. Okay. And then I'll do a bit one there. Do it right there. That's going to be a lot of fun. Shape. And then I get to a difficult bit. Now this always happens whenever you're on a flat wall. This pattern's perfect, but with a curved shape, it gets tricky to have curves which look right. Because what I want to do is I want to put this one here, but then hold on, coughing again. Sorry. I'm just going to get a drink. Hold on. Sorry about that. Right. What I want to do is put this one here, but it's then staying out too much. I need it to move into the leg. So we could look at like that. But however you do it, it looks wrong. Okay, because then this is disconnected from this one. No, dude, don't go down the stairs. Or ladder, whatever. So you could set now too far away. Flip. You could say I'm going to put it there. So it's like diagonally back. Surely that's the best, but that doesn't look like either. You're now disconnected from both of them. The point is, however you do it, it doesn't look right. It just looks wrong. Okay. So I mean, you could do a compromise where you kind of do it like that. You accept that it's wrong. You say, screw it. I'm just gonna have a kind of merge thing and then go up together. But no, that doesn't work. I think what I'm gonna do this time, and every time I do, I follow a different. You know, I follow my judgment about what looks right more than anything else. Okay? This time I'm going to do this. Okay, so I'm going to have the first one out there, which is I try to every 3 blocks go in one to towards the leg, and I've broken that rule here, but I think it looks better with a pattern, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay. Right. Now if I do this around it, hopefully this will look better. Damn it, that was a misclick. Now this bit is quite flat, because here the greave, or whatever this part of the scale man is called, it is quite flat. It's not like that actually in reality. But anyway, in my model it's curved around here, and this contour is quite flat along here, okay? Therefore the pattern should be quite flat. And that's fine. Right. So I need to go in here, except if this shape starts going in, which it does start doing here. So from this point onwards I'm going to curve it inwards. Okay, so let's do that. Get underneath to get the angle. Damn it. Oh, I thought it was going to walk down through it. Maybe it doesn't work in the first person. I think. It's funny, it swaps to third person when you climb, and then goes back to third as soon as you pull up. Right, that looks right. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. The sun is setting in my base, which means it's time to harvest feathers. So, as part of my get down. As part of my massive production effort of arrows, I built this very ugly stone building over here. I mean, it's all ugly. Sorry, this production area needs totally tidying up. But this is particularly ugly over here because as part of building tens of thousands of arrows, I need a lot of feathers. So I built this like factory farm. Now, what do they call them when they get the chickens in the? What do you call it? No, they're not free range. Instead, they're something else. They're hemmed in. They don't have much space to move. I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, where you get your cheap eggs because they treat the animals badly. Of course, I don't do, but anyway. But in the game, I do, yeah. Not in real life, it's a bad idea. But the computer game works well. You just need a place to sleep. There's two birds there on top of each other. And they need a place to eat. So I'm afraid I keep it very simplistic for them. They're treated poorly, but it's just a computer game, so it's fine. I don't feel bad. Right. Keeping the food upkeep is why out there I've got that big area for growing stuff. You saw it earlier. And round. Great. whole set of hungry birds up here. Okay, there is some food left. Good. So each bird gives you a maximum of 4 feathers. As long as they're fed, they produce feathers. If they run out of food, you run out of feathers. Seems fair enough. Okay, so we're out of food here. How much have we got there? 11. That is not going to last long, which means I need some more there. Problem is I need to plant something. Let's wait for the farmer. Sorry, dude.
Welcome.
Bird food required. Okay. I need to plant bell peppers and then corn. Do bell peppers first. Now there's an interesting glitch if you're playing on everything easy setting, which I am, because there's no reason not to. There's an angled line there. So we'll slow you down and I'll show you the glitch. Okay. Now, notice I've got 15 bell peppers, so if you're looking at my slots, 15 down here. So I lay down a bunch, and then I collect. I now have 22 bell peppers. How the flip does that work? Well, it's because on the easiest settings, when you harvest things, you're likely to get 2 of them. I think that's how it works anyway. So that means that you can just keep doing this, and you're just magically creating these seedlings. To be honest, it's fantastic, and I don't feel bad about exploiting this glitch, because otherwise you spend a lot of time making seedlings. And frankly, I've got enough things that are taking a lot of time up, so I'm glad this is a bit easier. Right, let's do that for bell peppers. Put those in, let's take the corn pods out, same for them. Night has come. I set up my world so night only lasts like 2 minutes. So it's a minor inconvenience, the night. Of course, sometimes in this game you actually need to be night time for things to work. If you're trying to open a night sanctum, for example, it's got to be night time, otherwise you just can't get in. So those times, my world's quite annoying. But generally, the night time is well, not an annoyance, but just, you know, it gets in the way of building stuff because you can't see properly. Right, let's go back in there, those go there. Actually, let's get more of them together. I need more stuff. Right, the sun's going to rise in a second. Should I sleep? No, I won't sleep. I'll let you see how it is. Every time I look at this, they've got it wrong. The moon versus the stars does not move like that. It's so wrong, it annoys me every time I see it. It's the same with the sun. So look, the moon starts over there, and it goes round in that arc over there, and then the sun rises from over there and sets over there. So look, here comes the sun from over there. Okay. It's just vanished like it does. The sun rises there, goes up, sets there. Now the sun and the moon cannot move in completely different ways than that. I think every time I've streamed this, I've complained about this. It really bugs me because I work in the space sector and I know about orbits and the motion of planets and stuff like that. It's just wrong. Every time it annoys me. It just drives me nuts. Right. Let's just put these feathers away quickly. My box for making arrows. Let's go feed the birds a little bit, particularly the ones upstairs. Birds will be up now, or waking up. There we go. That should be enough to keep them well fed. Let's get back to work. sideways. Damn it. Okay. There we go. Now let's start again. Right. Just barely on, I think, yeah. See here, I've just realised I've done the thing I said I wasn't going to do before. I've gone in diagonally. It just doesn't look right. Okay. Because however you finish it out, you can't put one here when you're blocking the thing. Do that, you can't see. So instead I'm going to do this. It looks a bit ugly. So the lighting's the sun's very low. You can't see perfectly, which is slightly frustrating. I really need to put a plank there because there's a huge chasm there. Right, let's. Again, the light is a bit annoying. You can't really see properly. Maybe, you know, I should put it there. Let's get rid of this one. However I do it, it doesn't look right. Okay, I'm actually standing on the thing itself now. I'll do this a few times. There's a Billy Joel song called something like this, isn't it? Okey-dokey. This. Oh, look, we'll try it. We'll go away. Fly in and see what it looks like, okay? I'm not convinced this is going to look right, but we'll give it a go. I don't like see what I just did there. I'll go rid of that block because you're just wasting a block that no one's going to see. So I like to get rid of it. I can build more of these blocks. These blocks are not too difficult to build, but in general, just clean if you get rid of stuff you don't actually need. Or at least I think it is. Right, how does that look? That's not too bad. Oh! No, I'm not going to say it. But you know what I was trying to say. Yeah. Yep, well, as I said. Oh! That was interesting. Yeah, as I said earlier, it is slightly dangerous. Often you fall. I have died building a statue before, which is very embarrassing, but as I said, not recently, so let's hope on this stream we you don't get to see it. Right, what was I doing? I think I was doing... Oh yeah, I was observing the fact that I've got a problem because my pattern doesn't work now. I normally go up one here, but now the two triangles are coming together. Now this is just a symptom of the fact that the surface... You can't see my hands. I put my hands up, but I've got no video on. The surfaces are curving together. So this surface is curving into this one. This surface is curving into that one. At this point, it means you run out of area. You run out of area to draw your pattern on. There's nothing you can really do about that much, you know. It's just the way it is. So these little scales will have to be a little bit smaller. It's like, sorry, but I can't do anything else. Right. That one's wrong. It should be that. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Now the thing starts curving in here. So I'm sorry, the gold trim on the scale armor starts curving in. So I will mimic it. Okay, I want to stay with the slope and the shape of what I've already got. Okay. Right. I tend to do 3 up and then go in. That tends to work, but we'll see. Got a cough, sorry. Okay. I need to have some more vitamin C in a minute. Right. Let me just check if anyone's... No, I think I'm on my own at the moment. Right. I will keep talking for anyone who wants to watch this back later. Right. I've no idea what the time is actually. Hold on. Just gonna check. Oh, we're just gone to 7. Okay. Right. So it's gone 2 up. We need to go 3rd up. Okay. This might be easier than the thing itself, although this is how I fell last time. Not. Let's try it again. Can't move, otherwise I will fall. One, two, three. Come on. Okay. There we go. Do that. Let's put a silver one there. Not perfect because we've got to jump back 2 here. But hell, life's not perfect sometimes. Right. Sorry, a bit more than that time. Right. Well, this is going to be a... Again. Gonna cough again. Oh dear. I should be in bed rather than playing this, but I just wanted to... I don't know, I find this relaxing. I find it quite calming doing this, you know. It's like doing a jigsaw puzzle, except you're making the picture. It's a bit like sculpting. But the thing that terrifies... I can never be a sculptor. Can you imagine actually working on a block of stone or wood or whatever, and you chip too much off, and then you just ruin the whole thing? You can't go backwards through sculpting. Just even doing this, when I make a mistake, I'm like, oh god, I've got to go back and change the shape. Doing it in real life with a lump of rock or marble, I don't think I could do that. I'd be so terrified about taking too much of the thing off. I couldn't actually do it. I could never start. I'm just paranoid I'm going to get it wrong. Some people do. They've got a calmer mind than I have. Right. Let's continue on with this. So that's the pattern. So there's this. It's got to be one of these. It's getting very precarious now. Alright, I really need to build up down here because this bit is way behind. Okay, so I need to get this up all the way to there. And that way I can see the full shape of this. I need to put a thing down to that. Let's just slap one there. Okay. Now you can. It doesn't matter if this intersects with the blocks. It doesn't actually do anything to them. Okay, when you remove the scaffolding, the blocks are completely unharmed. I've tested that before. Right. Okay. So this is going to have one like that. And this is going to have one like that. Okay, good. This is fairly simple. There's no curvature at this point, so it's easier. Go in as I go up. Okay. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't actually need to do that. We might have to do it like that. Come on. Actually, I want to get behind this. Mouse perfect. Come on. There. Okay. Off the edge. Alright. I think I'm going to put it there. Better for the shape. Right. Let's go and look. See what it looks like over here. Shape about right. 3, and no, it's only going up 1. Wait a minute, something's gone badly wrong. Got a cough again. Sorry. So, I have a problem, Tengon problema. Look. There's a set of 3, it bifurcates 1, and then it goes up. It's supposed to go up 3, and then bifurcate again. But look, I've only gone up 1 here. So basically all this has got to change. Could be worse. Right. That's correct. But that one needs to be that. That one needs to be that. And that one needs to be that. And that one needs to be that. And then this looks better. There's still a curvature issue, the two things coming together, so I've got less room, but still pattern preserved. Get off the map. Okay. Right. Okay. What are we going to do next? Let's... That looks good. here. That'll work well. So will it work well? Maybe it won't work well. Flip. Do that will work better. Keeps the pattern. Difficult to see, so this comes up, goes doop doop and then in there, this goes doop doop and then in there, and then we're back to this pattern again. Bifurcates it. Right, something like that. Level, not entire floor. Right, do gosh, that worked. Good, 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 good. The angle right. Come on, baby. That's what I want. Did you hear that funny noise? That sounds like a dolphin or something. Very strange. Which reminds me of the water update that's coming out soon. I'm very much looking forward to that. We shall see what it's like when it comes out. Wait a minute, I've done it again. Look. Oh! Undo, undo. I thought I had my bow out. Look. 3 up. And then it's bifurcating. What's happened here? It's supposed to join there, so it only needs to go 2 up. It needs to bifurcate there. Do it all again. No, 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 undo, undo. So I'm getting my bow controls mixed up with my building controls. Alright. Let's try that again. No, let's not do that. Let's do this. Let's go up a bit. This might be easier from up there. It might not. I don't know. Let's try. Okay, easy. Right. Let's go there. No. Right, there. Okay, that's better. Like that. Okay. Let's go inspect my work. So now it goes up and bifurcates, goes up and bifurcates. Good. Good. So that block there. Block. There we go. That's coming together again. We've got a very small lip scale there, but I'm sorry. That's life sometimes. Right. Okay. I'm going to step back in a minute and see what it looks like. But I'm going to just go a little bit higher. Also curve this way as well. That will look better. Okay. Careful, careful. I'll cough again. Sorry. Right. That's another go. There's that sound again. Did you hear it? Diddle-diddle-diddle-diddle. Not like Big Six diddle-diddle-diddle. There's a some creature goes ee. Every now and then you hear it in the background. It sounds like a dolphin. You guys probably don't have anything else. I have no idea what I'm talking about, do you? If you can rewind the video, you can hear it. That was an eagle screeching out. That's a bird. I'm listening to this game now. Hold on. Wait for it. That's the little chaffinch or something. It's the wind. Don't know what that was. More little birds. Come on. Turned into a nature program. That's an eagle. Wind again. Not that, that's a little bird again. That wasn't that. Come on. Come on. Huh? Maybe that's an eagle again. Come on. I'm sure I heard a dolphin. That, did you hear that? It goes, eee. It's a very sharp set of noises. That sounds like a dolphin to me. And if it's not a dolphin, what the flip is it? I would appreciate your help with any comments in the chat, because I have no clue what that is. So anyone who watches this back, please let me know what that noise is, because honestly, that's going to bug me now. And if I try Googling it in, I don't think I'm going to get an answer, because that's going to be a bit weird Google. Right. Coughing. Okay, I'm going to have a drink. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know why I'm apologising for coughing. It's not like I can help being ill, but there we go. Sometimes we just do things that don't make sense. Right. Alright, I think we've done enough. No, not down there. Can't see what I'm doing. Okay. Right, let's go see what this looks like from over that way. Okay? I might have to go over here to despawn the scaffolding. Yeah, okay. And now these birds move around. I'm still in build mode. Hold on. That's not bad, you know. That's about right, isn't it? Again, you can, from a distance, you see the scale pattern very well. When you're up close, you can't see what's going on. From a distance, it works. Let's go to my favourite viewing position over here. The straight on position, because this is easiest to compare to the inventory. That's not bad. Again, compare. Zoom in on his trousers. The angle's like that. It changes the angle of the legs when you're... let me show you. So on this angle of the legs, look, this boot is very slightly tilted off straight at you. Then you're focusing on the legs, it changes the angle completely. I mean, I understand when they designed this user interface, they weren't thinking someone's going to use this to build a statue. But still, this is a right pain. Anyway, this is the angle we're going for. So there is more on this side than you see on the other side. It's not perfect. I'm always going to fire the bow. But it's not bad, you know. I think that looks okay. It's not exactly the same as this. You can see on this. Oh, if I click on it's on that. Here, there's a gap here, but it's bigger here than it is here. There's less of a gap here. But you know what? It's not perfect. You know, art. Sorry, I was calling myself an artist there. That's a bit of a stretch. But anyway, you know, art doesn't have to resemble the world perfectly. You know, and as you're creating these things, you kind of just got to go with the flow a little bit. I'm quite happy with that. If this art continues up to there, it will look good. Okay, it looks different from the other one. That's fine. It does here. You see more of this one than you do of this one. But overall, the effect is good. Now you can see the ice here. You can't see from this distance. It's really frustrating. You get closer, and then something comes in. I'm slightly worried about that because that means all the blue cloth stuff, including his flipping cape, you are not going to see from a distance. That's a bit frustrating. I mean, I could find a blue building block, but there are blue luminescent blocks, but that would just look wrong. I don't want him to glow his cloak to glow in the night. I'll use the yellow luminescent blocks for here. That'll look really good. Sorry. But for the blue, I don't want it to glow, and there's no like just standard blue blocks. They don't exist. So if you go over to the crafting table, check for me, somewhere here, there it is. Welcome. It would need to be one of these blocks, and the only one that's blue is this one. There's not really another one. You know, because a lot of buildings in life, most buildings in life are not blue, so it's understandable. So I'm using ice. Again, you could use luminescent growth, but again that's the wrong look. So instead I'm using ice because I don't have anything else. I mean, who knows, the next update they might bring out some more blocks. Now they're going to have water in the next update. I could make his cloak just a cascading waterfall, but it's not quite right. There'd be like a massive pool of water at the bottom. I don't know, it doesn't really feel right to me. Ice is the right thing, but it's just a shame that the ice... Fire again. The ice despawns when too far away, and I don't think this is adjustable in the settings. Hold on, let's have a look. Field of view. No, don't play with that. That always causes chaos when you do. Max quality. Nothing else is adjustable. I've got everything to max. I can't seem to change that. Maybe. I mean, I play some people play modded Enshrouded, but I would not do that with a game that damn it, every time you press 6 you fire, which is really annoying. I just want to make sure I'm on 6. Anyway, I don't mod games where they're not designed to be modded, because in my experience that leads to pain. Okay, you need your Steam account, so Steam not being able to launch the game properly, and then when there's an update come out, crashes everything. It's not worth it in my view. And I love this game too much. I don't want to lose what I've been doing. Right. But yeah, the ice just from a distance you can't see. So I think, let me check what time it is. 7:41. Going down the wrong road thing. I might stop there and get my dinner. No, that sounds a bit selfish, but I'm not well. I probably need to eat. I might finish it tonight, or I might just go to bed, to be honest. But I will finish that the next day, and then we get back to the belt, which you can see I've started. I've done the bottom bit of the belt. I've kind of done this bit of the belt there. But I need to do this bit, which is a bit complicated. Now, is it actually glowing, this bit? No, it's just the light shining off it. Well, this is glowing over here, but this is just shiny. So I need to do this bit, these metal bits. His belt's quite complicated, that's going to be tricky to do. Go all the way around, and then I can continue up. Now you can see I've done the chainmail underneath the belt here. That's because I thought it might just be easier to have that as a backdrop. You know, you won't be able to see it, but I think it will be easier to construct the belt if you've still got the shape of the waist you're going around. I'm really keen to go up and then get his arms going. Now, the pose, for those of you who want to know, is going to be... hold please. This. So I'm going to do him holding my favourite sword, which is the Greater Golden Twin Flame sword. I think that's my favourite. It's certainly the one I use the most. It's a very effective sword. 104 damage. And it's a nice sword. I think it's the one I'm going to go for. There are, as you saw at the beginning, there's a lot of different swords. But this one's pretty good. And the gold trim along it goes quite well with the gold on the outfit. But I'm going to have him just like this. See that bit? So standing with one sword. I can't do the shield, because the problem is when you put the shield in, it comes out the back. Okay, and I don't have that much space behind it. These guys are actually at the edge of the build limit. Okay, so his cloak and everything else, it's got to be quite tight. I'll show you that in a second, but he can't have that. Now if I put the shield up like that, you can't even see it to work with it, and his stance with his leg changes. Okay, so look, he's gone like fighting stance. I need him to be standing such that he fits on the thing. So the shield just doesn't work. So the shield's got to come off. Okay, and he's just going to stand like that. Like Aragorn didn't really use a shield, he just had a sword. Okay, so that's what I'm going to go with. That means the sword is going to be ginormous. And if my calculations are correct, it's going to come out to about here. Yeah, about the flame shrine, something like that. So the tip's going to end like here or something. I hope it's going to look really good. I actually just want to get to it now. The sword will be fun to do because it's you know, it's going to be slightly difficult because you can't see it when you go into this menu. So instead, I'm going to be like zooming in like this and trying to get the angle right to try and do this. But it's quite a pretty sword. It'll be quite fun to do. I'm looking forward to doing that. Anyway, progress is slow as always, but it's getting there. Let's take a screenshot of him looking. Let's do a better one for him here. I think this will work better. Hold on. So, get rid of the scaffolding. Let him stop doing his combat pose. There. So, you can see it taking shape. Zoom out a little bit. There we go. Maybe that's too zoomed out. Zoom in slightly. No. Hide HUD. There we go. That's better because you see the boots at the bottom. Screenshot. There we go. I'll use that for next time I build. Oh, for those of you who are interested, don't know if anyone is. What's that bit at the top? That's the build height. I can't go above that. Now, I think that will work. It's going to be a little bit tight. You know, I'm up the belt's there. And if you look on this, the belt is over halfway up. Still, it's going to be a little tight. I'm glad I haven't got a helmet on it, you know. He's just got this like tiara thing, which I quite like. I mean, it's a cosmetic thing. I'll take that off. You know, the helmet would cause problems. That would almost certainly take me over the build limit. And plus it changes the whole look. It doesn't look good. He's better off just with a noble diadem, as it sounds. It's not a tiara. It's more masculine than that. Anyway, yeah, hopefully it will fit in. But if I get to the top and I've run out of space, I'm going to cry. I really am. Now, as you can see, the flame altar is slightly elevated from the... I will stop in a minute, sorry. But it's slightly elevated from the ground which he's built from, but only a little bit. So the build area, I always forget this, 160 by 160 by 160. Okay. So yeah. I don't know, we'll see. Hopefully, I kind of have to make it fit in. Yeah, to show you the extent and how close this is, that yellow line down there, and the cough side, that yellow line down there is the extent of the build area. So his cloak has got to fit in there, which I think I can just about make it work. I mean, you can see the back of his shoes here and the greave there, that's the right word. Okay. It doesn't go out much further than the back of his shoe. Yeah, it does go out a bit, and obviously it flaps around. I can't do that. But I think I can make that work just about. But it's going to be tight. It's really squeezed off. If I ever get to the other characters, I will think more carefully about where I start the feet of the characters. I wish I'd built them just slightly further forward, you know, and made this base building slightly further that way. But yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, I will stop there because I need to eat and I need to rest. I'm sorry. But hopefully that was mildly interesting. And yeah, you can see the belt. Oh, you can see the belt. It looks alright. Yeah, and I'll see you guys again, and we'll keep working on this, okay? Let me try and say goodbye with an emote, if I can remember how to emote. Here we go. That's hello.
Hello.
Do we have a goodbye? Victory, point, firm, decline, shot. That's not really goodbye, is it? Maybe we'll just sit down. Alright, that one I have to do. They need more emotes in this game. Alright, I'll see you guys later, okay?